On left side here, we have the syndicates of the journalists and the newspapers, and this is the syndicates of journalists. That is the one in the left side. That's a modern building. We had an old building before. And we are driving now through the main streets of Cairo, which goes back to the 19th century. Now, in Egypt, Cairo, if you want to drive to your home and to your work, you have a very big question: where I'm going to leave my car. When Cairo was designed in 19th century, park in the first line. Of course, that's a joke. Well, we always have somebody who take care of this. Do we respect the traffic laws? No, we don't. We only respect the traffic law when we actually see a policeman. If we don't, they didn't show up yet. There is stuff in the streets, can you catch it? So that is the market area. So the vendors themselves, they didn't show up yet, but they're gonna show up later on in the day. And we are driving to the east. This east-west street we are driving through is called the El Azhar Street. That's
the Salah al-Din Citadel.
Are we all on? You hear me fine?
Yes, yes.
Two more.
So this is our first stop.
Let's walk this way back. A lot of history. Anyway, where we start from?
From the beginning.
From the beginning we can't. We start from the middle step. We start in 620. 3 years finish. The Ottoman says, Muhammad Ali, you are fired. Muhammad Ali said, would you leave me another 3 years if I double the tax for you? He said, okay, double the tax. So every 3 years they fire him, he double the tax, fire him, double the tax. After 40 years, the Ottoman guy, you know what, it's too long, you have to fight the Ottoman. And he was so close to take over. Unless that...
This is the Citadel that was built by Saladin. This is inside the mosque. Yeah, right, that's right.
Egypt called Muhammad Ali.
Built in
That's how the name of
1820s.
Muhammad Ali became very famous in history because the guy was a legend in politics. And the mosque is very simple building. I'm gonna to look west. If I'm Russian Muslim, I'm gonna to look south. If I'm South African Muslim, I'm gonna to look north. So you orientate yourself. So that is one of them. So the first early mosque looks like squares like this, and in the center of the square you have a water tank where
Inside the mosque.
okay, the style of the mosque looks like St. Sophia Church or the Blue Mosque in Istanbul. So that was a message from the Italian to Muhammad Ali, as if they are telling him that we will respect you as much as we respect the guy in Istanbul. And the whole marble structure you see here, that came from Italy. And this was a kind of innovation in building mosques in Egypt, to build a dome in such height and such size, and to be able to reflect the sound by reflecting it.
So this is the big one was the politicians gave their sermons from up there, and the religious ones gave it from the smaller steps. This is the Arabic calligraphy. They're all quotes from the Quran. Here's the panoramic view of Cairo from the Citadel and the Mosque that was built by Muhammad Ali, and it was built by the Italians in 1820s. This is Cairo. There are 21 million people living in Cairo.
Yang di sini saya lihatkan Bapak Ibu masjid yang luar biasa. Belajar semua mazhab berempat. Syafi'iyah, Hanbaliyah,
These people from
Malikiyah,
Indonesia.
atau yang
This is the old Egyptian museum that we're going into now. So this was built in the early 1900s.
She was a governor of the eastern side of Luxor. So it's nice to meet a lady who was working as a governor of the eastern side of Luxor. And then the key flower in her head. And her eyeliner is made out of a stone, we call it lapis lazuli. The lapis lazuli is a very interesting stone. You can only find it in Afghanistan. Open the new museum, so we take stuff from here to the new museum, so we rediscovered that we have this tomb. The tomb belonged to somebody called Yoya, and his wife is Thoya. And Yoya is the Egyptian general of the Egyptian army in 1400 BC. The tomb is as the wood. The wood is super stable, doesn't absorb humidity or use. That's why the gold is very much surviving in this gold. So that's one of the biggest questions we have. And it is very important to make a statue of my face because they think that this is separation between the special innovations. Ancient Egypt was invaded by some people came from the east, and those bad guys were riding horses. So the first time that ever ancient Egyptian have seen a horse as an animal was in 1700 BC. And because the guys ride the horse, the Egyptian couldn't fight them, so they lost. And those guys occupied the eastern side of Egypt. We call them hexes. And he cooked it all together. And the stone is semi-precious stone to add the color. So this turquoise color came from Sinai, and this is what we call turquoise bead out of gold. And they've been fixed over this faience stone. So the first sign looks like a circle on a cross. We call it Ankh, means alive. The second sign is a falcon, so alive the falcon horse. The third sign is a wild oxen and an arm having a stake. The wild oxen and a strong arm, that's the title of the king. So if you call an ancient Egyptian king, you are a wild oxen, that's something good, not bad. That means he's strong, he's brave, and he's fertile. Okay? The leather is far soft, so they get it together and mix them, and they weave them together to make this light. And this is very important. Mr. Ancient Egyptian is very much into mummification. The base of the mummification is how to make the body dry.
Yeah.
So how do I make the body dry is from Africa, from Somalia. I mix the myrrh with a lot of different herbs and spices and make a kind of like oil, and they drop it against the body. And we don't scroll the head. Okay, now we forget about Yoya and Toya, so forget about them. We are in a side room, and this side room is very important for me because it is the room of the papyrus. So when you think of paper, the word of paper, papier, it's driven from the word of this plantation, papyrus.
But Osiris got dismembered by Seti, and they never found his phallus.
That's right, but this is the legend.
The legend? I don't know. Where's his phallus anyway? Never found his phallus.
Okay, take the photo, and we need to switch the place.
Right.
The same idea, and how big the gold leaf is. They got like an ultraviolet machine. Okay, now we are getting closer and closer to the collection of Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun is a boy king. We will visit his tomb when we arrive in Luxor, and the whole thing is, the guy was 8 years old when he was a king, and he died when he was 17. And the political and justice power. When I act as a judge, we have a justice symbol. What is a justice symbol? and the tail of the lion is making the chain head. Got it? Yeah. And then you have an eye stone having a hole in the middle with a piece of black stone on it. And then you can see a piece of crystal in front of it. Catch it? This is a piece of crystal in order to hold the whole thing and give you the curve of the eye. Catch it? So that is the eye. Now, and he's sitting on a chair, and you can see that she has like a dress made out of silver. But when you look at her dress, you can see her legs. Can you catch it?
Yeah.
When you look at her dress, you can see her legs. Yeah, as if she's wearing a Benz, right? Yes? So this wooden box, you can see a line of cobras. And this line of cobras is for protection. That's what you see on the top. The ancient Egyptian people moved it on the side of the body, like the arm, the kidney, the stomach. They carried those cobras, they dried them as well, they cut them to jars. Those are the jars where the organs are kept.
So these are the jars where the organs are kept. So this is another room after we saw King Tut, Tutankhamun. They didn't let us take any pictures. We saw the gorgeous mask and the nesting coffin's sarcophagus. But these were allowed to take photos. And it's a nice big antique room. This museum was built in 1900.
Il était cassé ou détruit par toutes vos histoires.
Either to Europe or to Asia. And there's another movement from Ethiopia to Yemen, from Yemen to China and India.
So the genetics
Thank you.
And then someone comes with black ink, a shadow, a hand, and a shadow. And Jimmy is like a bird of eyes. Jimmy means wisdom. Jimmy means the shadow of wisdom. He is here, so you can see his feet. And he is standing in a big boat made out of papyrus. And I am the most important guy. He's attaching his little left to the boat. And the mother is super worried. So this is magic. This is Michelangelo of 2200 BC. You can see such a beautiful eye contact between the mother and the lady. And she is actually trying to lay him, to make him feel better. So you can see her blood getting out. Can you catch it? So that is 2000 BC on. Can you catch it? Now,
What did you just...
you see the
tongue.
the tongue is getting out. Now the problem is, they are moving, and those guys there, they found a crocodile. So he's pointing at the crocodile, and he's shouting to them, saying that, hey guys, push the boat to the left side, crocodile in the right. So he's telling them to put the oars at the baby, but this one knows its mother. And the farmer wants to force this cow to feed the stranger cow. So what he does, he pulled the front leg up, and the cow losing its balance, so it's open the two back legs. So he doesn't want the cow to kick the little one, so he's tying this just for proportions. Now the details is fantastic when you look at the legs of the cows. You see that little finger comes in. For ages and ages and ages, I have never understood this scene. Okay, until one day I'm doing a trip with somebody from South Africa, and the guy is telling me, yes, that's normally what you see in the swamps. I said, but hippopotamus doesn't eat meat. So what this guy is doing here by swallowing the crocodile? He said it doesn't swallow the crocodile. Hippopotamus open the mouth to the maximum, crocodile open the mouth to the maximum. They get against each other. The one who can close the mouth of the other one is suffocating the other one and killing it. So what you see here is the hippopotamus is actually succeeded to finish the life of this big crocodile. Crocodile has a very big muscles to close, but not very strong muscles to open. So writing the report, and this is the guy who report to his master. So this is the chef of the house, and he is holding the roll of papyrus, and he's reporting to his master what he has. Okay, this is eats a lot of dead bodies and never ever gets a tummy problems. So they thought that the slab of the hyenas is a cure against bacterial infections. So what this guy is doing, he put the food inside the mouth of the hyenas and then he take it away. He's making this duck is annoyed with the guy twisting it away. So the duck is biting him. In one of the tombs, the duck is hitting the butt of the guy in front of him. Here, you can see it here. See that? Is this scene here and this one here. Where you can see 4 people dragging a very big sledge and someone is putting something in front to make it easy to be dragged. That is like a lubricator. So now we understand that the ancient Egyptian had a sledge and they put something like wet mud in front of that sledge to make it lubricated. We have a guy called Sunu, he's the Egyptian. Oh, you see that red spot here?
Yep.
That's where we are. Catch it? Okay, this is pyramid number 1, pyramid number 2, pyramid number 3, pyramid number 4, pyramid number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wow.
So we have 12 pyramids, actually 13, I missed one.
So I'm in the middle of one of the tombs. The height is only about 4 feet maybe. Oh, she's at the end. She finished already.
Is she really?
Yeah. No.
They can't look up at the
This is tough.
I don't know how far down I need to go.
Yeah, this is really tough.
First bump on the head.
Yeah, so this is the ceiling that's arched to support the weight of the tall pyramid. This black thing is the tomb itself. This is the step pyramid of Sakkara.
So you remember who is the photo is? Okay, don't lose it.
So this is called the Step Pyramid in Sakkara. And it was the first large pyramid.
As a matter of fact, he built the pyramid and he goes higher and his first layer is collapsing. So he had more stones again as the first layer. And he goes higher and both is collapsing. So he had more.
This is the house of the crown, where the king's
I can't
crown
become a
is
king
stored.
just because I'm a star.
These are
Star
the
doesn't move.
2 holes
It's always durable. It's
that
3,000
at 42 degrees,
And we
the
think
king
that
can see the
pyramid
North Star.
is actually being constructed to take the king.
You can see there's a Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah. I'm sure you can see him from the front too.
So what we're gonna to do, we are gonna to stop between the first and the second one, and you have the chance to walk very close to the second one and to see the first one from a reasonable distance. The first pyramid, which we call it Cheops, the one on the right side, is not intact. People use this pyramid as a place for a stone. So we actually lost about 6 feet from the thickness of the pyramid and about 33 feet from the height. But if we see it as it used to be, you can see it, it's made out of yellow limestone. It's 395 feet. The first pyramid consists of 2,300,000.
So these are the 2 pyramids of Giza. There were really many more, but they all got torn down by the idiot Egyptians to build other houses.
I just can't believe it.
This is the top. lots of camels. And this one is 455 feet. There are 255 layers of the stones, and all height of the stones are identical, and that's why it was able to stand and nothing shifted, and everything stayed for 4,000 years.
So when the boat carrying the stone comes here, he need to drag the stone from this point where the boat is up to where I'm going to build my pyramid. So if this zone is sandy zone, I'm not going to build my pyramid on the sand. I'm going to run it in your right side and left side. And
This is the causeway.
does not exist. We have a marble floor underneath.
This is how they dragged all the stones up. Here we are at the Sphinx. It's the face of a human and the body of a lion. So this is the front of the Sphinx. Here's the paws. This was all under sand until 1956. People used to have their picnics up by the face from the movie The Spy Who Loved Me.
We'll trade after.
So here we have two of the three pyramids with the Sphinx. And the third pyramid.